Welcome to the Filmistines, the double feature podcast. Join us as we unravel the interwoven experience of the continuous conversation of cinema. Take part in pairing movies with their cursed counterparts, movies that share DNA, or even pairing questionable duos by joining our Patreon at patreon.com/Filmistines. We offer tiers at the $1, $5, and $20 level, where the $5 tier will grant the ability to request films to further the discussion. So grab some popcorn, sit back, and get ready to join the 100-year conversation. This is the Filmistines, where movies are more than just entertainment, they're an experience.
They're an experience.
All around you. And welcome back to another episode of the Filmistines. Thank you guys for joining us today. Today I'm joined by my triathlon friend, Lucy.
Hello, everyone.
You can join us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for brand new episodes of the Filmistines. Some recent episodes include Mad Max 1, 2, and 3, Fury Road, and Furiosa. All the Mad Maxes. The 2015 film Green Room and Blue Ruin. Great films. Go check them out. Remember to leave nice comments, thoughts, and ideas on our Patreon as well. Come subscribe for $1. Come request a movie. Go rate us on Apple Podcasts. We appreciate all the support. Thank you guys very much.
Are you stressed and filled with anxiety like I am? Maybe in a bit of pain from that car accident you had a few years ago? Well, the sponsor of today's episode, Hempville CBD, has us covered. They have the highest quality products created by chemists and doctors. Hempville carries everything from CBD to THC dispensary grade without those despicable dispensary prices. Order your Delta 8, 9 edibles and vapes along with the THCA flower and get free shipping when you spend $50 or more at hempvillecbd.com. Check out the link in the description for more details.
But today we are discussing the widely celebrated Simon Cellan Jones 2024 film, Arthur the King, with Mark Wahlberg. I'll just start off by saying that this is a dog movie. Should we have killed the dog? Yes. Is it based on a true story and that prevents us from killing the dog? Maybe.
Also, yes.
Is this a story about how it's okay to retire and in fact you should find other avenues to spread your love and find other pleasures in the world? Maybe.
No. He doesn't learn that here. That's the wrong movie.
It is the wrong movie because Arthur, the king here, is just a mirror image of him, and he doesn't learn anything except that he only loves himself.
I don't know if I quite agree with that.
But this was a mildly surprising movie. It's much better than the recent Mark Wahlberg film I saw, Father Stew. That was a big train wreck. We go out on an adventure in the Dominican Republic for a few days. We run into a dog several times. We have a really crazy zipline scene. And our team doesn't even come in first place. I always thought people who liked these dog movies were fictions of a certain zeitgeist. But I sit across someone who genuinely loves dog films, especially the ones where they die. How did you feel about Arthur the King?
No, not especially the ones who die. What gave you that idea?
You like crying.
He didn't die here and I was bawling. They don't need to die. Let's start there. I am against doggies dying in film. That's one thing I do stand for. Stop killing the doggies, which we have, and I'm glad. Yeah, I like this movie. We get a dog movie. It was very heartwarming. It was a good movie about perseverance. And I like that we get quite a bit of the dog, actually, because we sort of have this perspective switch between Mike, is that his name? Michael? And Arthur. We see bits and pieces of Arthur's life, his suffering, people being mean to him not feeling so great. And then we have Mike being a human. I don't know. Is he suffering? I don't know. Is he angry? I don't really know. Mark Wahlberg is maybe not the best person for this role. I don't know what role he's the best person for, because I don't think there's a standout Mark Wahlberg film. But he's in the Ted movies, right?
Yeah, those are probably his claim to fame.
Okay, I've never seen any of those. Don't plan to see any of those unless a fan is going to request them. So if that is what he's good at, then he should stick to that. But we eventually have Mike and Arthur meet up in the middle, and I like that. Usually we focus on the character, the human, and we give them a dog instead of focusing on the dog and the human, and we make them friends. But I really loved Arthur's tenacity, which is why I don't agree with you saying that they mirror each other, because obviously Arthur has more balls here, and he actually went through something and survived. And I don't know what Mike went through. I don't know what he survived, but I guess he supposedly did. But I love the ending of the movie as well. It was very flawless. It felt very plot twisty, although a lot of people on the internet say it was pretty obvious. I'm sorry, it wasn't obvious to me. I didn't know the original story, so maybe that's what they mean, but everyone can always call out these plot twists that I don't seem to yet, and I call bullshit on that. But the movie looked good. The forest looked great, but it definitely suffered from some things. It suffered from acting. It suffered from pacing. The characters were not as friendly and developed as I would have liked them to be. This is a movie about a team, and there was no team spirit here. It maybe even had some plot holes. Or some theme issues. Not quite sure. But overall, it was a nice watch. It was a nice family movie night. And it was ridiculous how much I couldn't stop crying.
Yeah, the glaring issue with this film is its parallel stories of Arthur and Michael. Because Arthur does go through something. He goes through trying to survive and trying to find his place in the world. Michael comes from luxury and privilege. And of course he worked very hard, him and his wife, to have their house and live where they live and everything and do what they do.
I guess.
Presumably, right? You know, they have a
Presumably.
nice place and whatever. He's able to just run off for a couple weeks and...
Is that the dad's money, though? Is that what I'm kind of
What's her money?
getting here?
Because he's mostly broke, right?
Well, he works for his dad. There's that implication almost that, you know, when you work for your dad just gives you money. You're on his payroll. Are you working? I don't know.
I mean, that's fair. I thought it was kind of funny, this little hang up of how he doesn't have money to bring his team early and stuff, but he works for his dad doing whatever. He lives in that house. It's just kind of a funny mixed bag of...
What?
Yeah, like,
really?
I don't... And you stole $10,000 from your wife. Like, who has $10,000? It's just...
No, sir. He did not steal $10,000. He stole a lot more than that.
Oh, how much was it?
Like $50,000.
Exactly. It makes it even worse. Like, I don't think you're that broke.
Yeah.
So it makes the parallel stories a little strange because they are supposed to mirror each other. This is very clear to me. And it's clear through his attitude because his attitude indicates that exactly what he explicitly says, that he's a survivor.
Yeah, and then there's this conversation he has with his wife when they're on the phone and she's telling him he's a fighter, talking about Arthur, just like you. And I was like, excuse me, what did he fight for? Arthur's fighting for his fucking life.
Yeah. It's a funny parallel that's not so parallel. They're sort of perpendicular to one another.
Yeah, it was definitely a miss making Mike the way they did. It's almost like he was supposed to have a transformation similar to Arthur's that he never had. I'm sorry, but there's no transformation from always wanting to win a race to stealing money from your wife to make the race happen, lying to your teammates. And then at the end, we're just supposed to now, all of a sudden, because he found a dog, assume that
he's a team player now.
he's a team player. Is he going to tell his wife? She don't know, or she knows, and she's acting all stupid about it. That was never addressed, which I have a big problem with that.
That's a massive point.
Yes.
Unless they're just that well off. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For her not to be mad, you're right. And the wife gives me vibes from The Sound of Freedom, where the wife is totally cool with whatever he wants to do.
Gone for several months at a time.
Yeah. And she's like, yeah, honey, whatever you want.
You're a hero.
Yeah, you're a hero. These wives need to step it up. Bitch, you took $50,000 out of you took $10,000, you took whatever amount of money out of my savings account. Get your ass back here. Like, what the fuck? And now you want to bring a dog home?
And you only came in second place?
Damn.
Fucked up.
Yeah. Because the whole start to the movie was also a bit weird. Because supposedly he gave up on his dream to be a racer because of a bad social media post. Is that what happened? Because they keep talking about that thing that happened, and the only thing that happened that the audience was aware of was that social media post that went viral for him being mean to his teammates. I don't know. He didn't break his back. I don't know. He didn't have an injury to prevent him from doing it. That wasn't a situation that you give up on.
So you're telling me this is a redemption story to fight back against cancel culture?
You know what? Maybe. But if it was, can we not make the social media aspect or the social media influencer aspect of this character not so cringe? Because I don't know if that's the big thing that made him quit or made him keep losing. I don't know.
Yeah, it almost feels like we should have gotten a little bit more of a tighter focus on him being past his prime.
Yeah, we really didn't get that, besides maybe a few jokes here and there. But it was the main focus on his personality, which that was very lacking. And that would have worked better because Arthur here is going through something he can't help. Like these parasites infecting his poor little baby doggy body. And drawing parallel to Mike getting old, something he also can't help, hurting his big man body. That would have been better, so much better. And I know they're trying to keep true to the source material, but how many great examples are there that if you deviate from the source material, it's okay. You need that better movie. Like Jaws. How different was Jaws from the book? The book was all about cheating and drama and whatnot, which was good, which was very good, but they completely took that out of the movie, which you would think that would make for a great movie too, adding that cheating wife and all those elements, but they took a risk and it paid off.
We see it time and time again. It often helps when you have a little bit more of a singular focus or try to attach the context to some kind of allegory. But it's clear here they didn't really have a Michael story. It was just Arthur the King's story. And I'm happy to say it, but the point of Arthur saving Michael from God knows what is garbage. They should have saved each other, which they try to do, but they don't know how to write a character. They instead wrote this Hallmark piece for Arthur and just neglected the meat of the story. In fact, the true story part, which really only can come from Michael because Michael is the perspective on it all. So no matter how much you like Arthur and want him to be the thing that's in most focus, the characterization and development of Michael is still the most essential part of the story. So I'm a little confused on why this thing even exists.
Well, they just wanted to tell the story of the true story of Arthur, which I'm reading that fans of the original story already feel that this movie didn't do justice to the source material. So you fucked up either way. Because I think apparently Arthur was a retired rescue dog, and nowhere in the movie is that mentioned. Nowhere is it even implied. And that would have kind of helped let us know why he could follow them for so long. But Michael's not the only character I have issues with. It's pretty much the whole team. There was just no chemistry between them. They didn't feel like they were a team. And that's okay because I think that's what they were going for in the beginning. But then towards the end, they still didn't feel like they were a team. They didn't feel like they even wanted to hang out with each other, which is a big point to this movie, that Michael is now a leader and he's now able to cohesively put his team together. I know you mentioned the zipline scene earlier, and it was actually a very decent sequence. It was probably my second favorite part of the movie. It was super suspenseful. It was insane to watch. And that was it. We didn't have any of this other craziness in the other parts of this marathon racing, whatever it is. Because in that sequence, I mean, you see everything from them climbing that mountain with their bikes on their back, to them doing the zip line, to surviving and being ahead on time, right? But then we lose some of that craziness in the rest of the race that I'm not a fan of. I wish we would have had other crazy moments like that. I don't know if maybe there just wasn't time for it. Not sure how long this movie went.
Too long. 107 minutes.
He said too long. Because everything else was just pretty chill, pretty mellow. I know there was a scene where Arthur rescues them from potentially falling from a cliff, but that should have been intensified. Just because you're shooting it at night and you say, oh man, he saved us, he gets more meatballs, that doesn't intensify your scene. I'm sorry. And it could have really been awesome because that's when we see him again. Like, damn, this dog really just did 200 miles? Like, what? That's crazy. So there should have been other moments where we were on the edge of our seats, where we were in suspense mode.
And can we just agree on that the team that won deserved the win because they got so far ahead? Of course, Michael and Arthur took a great shortcut and got a day ahead or 12 hours ahead. It was quite a bit. And then that second place team, the kind of main antagonist, I guess, the kind of rival team, I should say, still caught up and ended up winning. They deserve the win.
Yeah, but this is an underdog movie, so we have to let the team with the dog win.
And they still didn't win.
And they still didn't win. Well, that was Arthur's fault, clearly. How dare he try to paddle and almost die and we had to turn around. How dare he?
That's when you should be able to say, well, team spirit wins here. But like you said, there was no team spirit. There was no camaraderie. There was no so-called chemistry.
And there was no companionship, which is the essential piece to a dog movie. That human and animal connection is the seller. It's what us dog movie people want to go see. Where's the moment where you will do anything for your dog? I guess here is where he decides to take him to America, so I guess we do get a little bit of that towards the end. But just that lack of companionship, because he just really picks him up and takes Arthur with him because he survived. We didn't get the heart-to-heart moments I needed.
There's no bonding moment.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like they're trying to tell us that this extreme adventure that this team has gone on is the traumatic experience to provide the foundation for the accelerated bonding of the team players, including Arthur. This isn't Society of the Snow, where you have a plane crash and you force some kind of, shared traumatic experience, right? That's going to live with them for the rest of their lives, and it's going to bond them in a very specific way. This race is not a traumatic experience. There may be some traumatic things that happen to the individuals. To the audience, this is an extreme race that you volunteered for.
Yeah, it's almost like a sports movie all of a sudden.
Yeah, no, it is definitely a sports movie.
Yeah, and you volunteered for knowing you had knee injuries, knee problems. Like, that's just silly.
The writers and director here, Simon, have no idea who the main character is. And they have no idea what the focus is in this film.
Yeah, but I think I started crying when they left him because it was dangerous for the dog to be in that little kayak thing. I don't know what those are called. Looks like kayak. And they left him. They left his ass. What teamwork? Okay. Camaraderie, my ass. But whatever. Okay, regulations, rules. All right. I'll take it. And then this motherfucker starts swimming. And I lost it. And since that point on until like 5 minutes after the movie ended was when I stopped crying. I don't know how long that is, but that was pretty long. It's probably the longest I've cried in a movie since Godzilla -1.
Well, they really give it to you because he starts swimming. You're like, I don't know if he's going to be able to fit on the kayak. They said no. They come in second place. It looks like Arthur might fucking die right there at the end.
He collapses, yeah.
They won't let him in the hotel, so he sleeps outside. The vet's like, man, this guy's got maybe 24 hours left in him.
Let's stop his suffering.
They don't want him on the plane. What's his wife going to say? They really hand it to you. I will give you that.
We know what his wife's going to say. Nothing.
Yeah, she's a cuck.
Yeah, whatever that means. She'll say yes. And yeah, they just keep giving it to you and giving it to you, and you don't have time to recover your tears. That was pretty good. That's my main praise for it, because at that point, you don't even have to worry about their connection anymore. You don't have to worry about this character anymore. All you know now is that you're a human wanting this dog to survive.
It would have been kind of cool if the entire film, or, 90% of it was from the perspective of the dog. The camera was down there with the dog. We saw more of the dog when he was by himself traveling the alleyways of the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, I like those scenes a lot where he was fighting other dogs and some other person tried to give him water, but he was like, nah, I'm just going to leave. That would have been interesting.
At the end, when he started paddling, we could have seen Michael and them paddling away in their kayak and they got further and further away. That would have been devastating.
Oh my God. Yeah, probably would have started crying way earlier if they would have made it from the dog's perspective, though.
Because we would have seen Michael and them leave a couple times, and he would have just been there. And you know what's harder than running this race?
What?
Sitting through this movie.
Damn.
But I appreciate you putting me through it.
You're welcome. And thank you for watching it with me. Because I know you wouldn't have seen this if I didn't beg.
That's true, yeah. Well, man, I'm very glad you liked this film for what it is. Thank you for watching it with me and talking about it here today. Do you have a budget guess for this monster of a film? I'm just saying that.
Okay. Well, my guess is 65 million.
Holy smokes, that is a monster of a budget.
Because there was a lot going on here. And I wasn't sure what was CG'd and what wasn't. Obviously, that zipline scene did not take place in a real zipline. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I don't know. It looked really good. I will give it
Yeah.
up for this movie. This movie looked pretty good.
It did look good. So some money was spent. And we also have actors. What would you put Mark Wahlberg in?
On the SABC
Yeah, that.
tier, not the A B actor kind of thing. He's probably an A tier actor, but he is in B tier movies.
Okay. So,
I hate to say it, really. It is what it is.
and then we also have Simu, who plays Leo, recently in Barbie. He's in Marvel. So, we have these not S tier actors, but definitely up there in the A.
For sure, yeah.
And we even have Nathalie Emmanuel, who plays Missandei in Game of Thrones. Very popular show. I've even seen it.
We even have Bear Grylls.
Oh, Bear Grylls. Who is that? So some money was spent. Some money was spent here.
Yeah, we don't have the cheapest group of actors.
I also don't know what goes into having a dog in a movie. I don't know if that's expensive. Sounds expensive. I don't know.
Well, it says here that it was 19 million,
Oh, shit.
which is a crime.
I'm way off.
Yeah, this film should not have cost anywhere near 19 million or 65.
Nah. 19's good. It looked good.
It's fair. It's fair. I give it to you.
And we have a lot of moving parts.
We're on the move a lot, and there's definitely some CG moments. You gotta assume it looked good. I mean, I cannot take that away from Arthur the King.
I guess it was 107 minutes, so you gotta take that into account.
And it went on to make $34.3 million, so it probably made a little bit of money.
Well, that's good. It was definitely in every trailer we went to go see a movie.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking they didn't really have a marketing push. They just tagged it on to its distributors' movies and friends.
Every single one.
Yeah, I didn't see, at the movie theater, every single one. I didn't see anything online, so... With 23,000 people over on Letterboxd, they weighed in at a 3.1. Also criminal. Way too high.
Wow. Yeah, I'm giving this a 2.
I'm happy to hear that. I was really worried about you fucking up this score.
Because I would have given it a 1, but because it made me cry so much and I just loved Arthur and the doggy, he gets an extra whole point. This dog made them get an extra whole point. You just didn't make me feel the way I wanted to feel, the human to feel for this dog. The injustice.
I completely agree. I would have given it a 1 as well, but it's earned a 1.5 because of the dog.
That's not good when your dog is your star and he wasn't your star.
He should have been the star.
He should have been
the
the
movie's
star.
named Arthur the King.
Yep.
I mean, enough said.
More like Michael the King.
Got him. But yeah, man, thank you again for watching this movie and talking about it here today. And thank you guys for listening to this episode of The Filmistines. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Remember, we post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with brand new episodes of The Filmistines on patreon.com/Filmistines, Spotify, Pandora, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Remember to leave nice comments, thoughts, and ideas on our Patreon as well. Go request a movie, come subscribe, rate us on Apple Podcasts. We appreciate all the support. But until next time, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of The Filmistines. Thanks for tuning in and joining us on our cinematic journey. We hope you enjoyed the discussion and gained new insights and perspectives on the world of movies. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform, especially Patreon at patreon.com/Filmistines, and follow us on social media for more film-related content. We love hearing from your listeners, so if you have any feedback, suggestions, movie recommendations, or book recommendations, please feel free to reach out to us. Until next time, keep watching, keep loving the magic of movies. This is The Filmistines, signing off.